Hi guys, going to get back on the TS250 today a little bit. I'm just going to go through the transmission, getting the transmission reloaded in the case, and it probably won't be that long a video because it just doesn't take that long, but there's some kind of little idiosyncrasies that you have to go through to make sure that you get it done right. Let me just kind of show you, and I'm going to also change the way I film this a little bit. And you know, when you guys watch this, let me know if this is weird. I'm going to try to film it from overhead so I don't have the tripod in my way. It seems a little weird to me. I guess maybe I won't really know until I watch it on like a TV or something, but let me know your thoughts. And I know I had a couple comments on the last couple videos I just put up about my audio. I think that I've got it sorted out. There's a merge function on my transmitter, so I think I've got that turned on. So let me know about the audio stuff too. So let's get with it. Okay, I've got the cases all clean. I've got all the bearings in, all the seals in, and I'm just going to do all the transmission stuff right here, right now. And the next step for me is going to be working on the the crankshaft. I'm not sure whether we're going to rebuild it yet or not. We're going to set it between centers, check everything, and then I'll make a determination. I don't like the fact that it had been run, but I don't know for how long without an adequate air cleaner. When we tore this down, you probably noticed all the black in here, and it was kind of gritty too. So I have a feeling it was probably did some damage, but how much I don't know. So we'll just see what the inspection of that shows us. So right now I'm going to try. So you're going to be kind of like this, and we'll see how this works. Let me know your thoughts. Okay guys, I decided against filming that from overhead. It was just too weird for me. It does get all the clutter out of my way, but whenever I'm up here loading this thing, you're not going to be able to see much except my hands anyway. So that's no matter how you do it. So I think I'm just going to go with this until I try to figure something else out. Now, let's get started with this thing. And kind of the first thing you got to do is get this pawl in here. I think, yeah, this right here. And to do that, first thing we need to do is get a little high-tack grease and place it right there for our washer, so we're not fighting that thing all the time. The washer, you just place it on that stud, and then you've got this shoulder bolt and the spring. I think it's probably easier to do this after, hook the spring up after. We'll see. I've done it both ways and it's kind of a pain either way. Okay, so we've got it in there. It rotates like it should. I'm going to go ahead and tighten that down. Now to hook up the spring, let's see, I think before I do that I'm going to stick the barrel in. And I've already put some grease here. We've got a thrust washer right here. So that's going to go in. Let me see, is this, yeah, it's got to go in. because it's, I don't know if you can see it or not. Right here is this follower that rotates is going to fit right into here. So this has got to be in there first. So it goes in your bearing, and I'm going to have to put you back over here so I can get in here to try to mess with this spring, because it can be a pill. And I just try to use a Phillips screwdriver here and push down on that spring at the same time. Sometimes I'm lucky, sometimes I'm not. Not being lucky right now. All right. Try my needle nose. Thing with them is they're kind of in the way. Well, they are in the way. That's the problem. Actually, I think that will go in there. Let's try it. This makes it a little easier to get the spring hooked up. I'll tell you, I'm just having the dickens of a problem. All right, let's back up here. I think it would be harder to hook it on the stud and then try to hook it in the hole. All right, got that around it. We've got our washer in place. Now it doesn't even want to stay on. Well, let me get this thing on. All right, got the spring hooked up, and got the bolt in, got the washer where it's supposed to be, and this is rotating on the shoulder, so now we'll give it a snug. Now, again, I got the grease here to hold the washer on. Now, here's your detent, and that's where your neutral is. And on this particular engine, the detent goes in from the bottom here. No, there we go. Okay, on this one, the detent comes in at the bottom, so that's where you want that detent. And we're going to attempt to push this down, and then there it is. Okay. So you can see now we've got the follower into the barrel. That's what it's supposed to do. Okay, I want to show you. Let me get this other case. Okay, if you look at this real quick here, your detent's here on the bottom, and it's going to come through here, and that's what's going to follow into that that little detent area on the barrel there, so that it puts it in neutral. So right there, it's coming in like this, instead of some of the smaller ones that have it up here. So we'll get back to this now. Most of your smaller bikes, the detent is up pretty close to the countershaft sprocket in this area up here. Okay. Now, we've got the detent. It's pointing right at this area here, so that's when the other case goes in, that's where your neutral is going to be. All right. On your gear sets, this is your countershaft sprocket gear here, or cluster. And this one here is built onto the front of it, so you don't have to worry about that. There's no washer that goes there. And you still have to put all this together, kind of together. And again, get your grease. Put your grease on here, up again the other. And get your gear on. This one here does not have a shim on it. So we're going to place the two sets together like this and try to drop it in and maintain everything together. Okay, I believe we got it. All right. Now pay attention to the orientation of this bearing here. And there is a shim right here. And this bearing on some of the bikes it'll just pop out of the case. Doesn't really matter. It'll be okay as long as the bearing's good. But you've got a closed side and an open side. Open side goes up. And then you've got a small little shim here. Okay? Now, oh, wait a minute. I think I got to yeah, hang on. I have got to get this other. Got to have this shifter arm in there. And this one, the hump here needs to go this way. I think I'm going to put a little grease on that too. Maybe it'll help keep it from sliding around quite as much. All right, so that's the only one that needs to go in there with this gear set. Well, All right, it's in there, and what we've got to do is we've got to lift it up and get it in the drum. You'll just lift it and it'll bring the gear up too, right there. At that point, you can stick your pin in. I tell you, I'm having trouble here getting around this camera. See it drop down on me. All right, then we get our pin in. Okay, that should be it. Now, on the other one, you can put these in. Oh, you know what? No, it's right. Okay, the hump on these are both identical, but they both go toward the countershaft sprocket. So you can fish the first one in all the way back here. And you kind of got to find the place. There it is, right there into the barrel. And then you've got one up here. Same thing, fish it in and find the groove in the barrel. It's just whatever lines up the closest. And there we are. Okay, it really is a little bit easier than some of the smaller bikes where you've got to put the drum with the shift forks and both sets of gears all in at the same time. Don't forget your washer there. But that should be it. Everything looks like it's spinning all right. So I think that's about all we can do at this point until we see what we're going to do with the crankshaft. But anyhow, this is it's not too bad. It's just got it's a little irritants, just like anything does, and it was irritating me a little bit there. But that gets it. That gets everything loaded in here. All we got to do is get the crankshaft, get our gasket, and the appropriate shims and whatnot with that, and we'll be ready to put it back together. So we've got the transmission loaded in. I'll go ahead and put some rags over the top of it to keep the dirt out, and tomorrow I'm probably going to start on the crankshaft. We're going to look and see what is problematic, if anything, and decide then whether or not we're going to rebuild the thing. I've got a rod, I've got a bearing kit, everything for it, so that's probably the way we're going to go. When I saw that when I took the air cleaner out, they actually had a sock for an air cleaner, and I knew right then that this was no good. So I think, just to err on the side of caution, we'll probably just go ahead and rebuild it. But first thing we're going to do is put it in the lathe, chuck it up, and check all the criteria, go over all that, and we'll see then what we need to do. So stand by for that. Hey, thanks for going along on the ride. See you next video.